We're live. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are tuning in from. We will give you a few minutes to join and drop a quick hi in the chat. Today, I am welcoming another graduate of the J Certification School. As always, very special, very dear to our hearts. And today we have Stacy Leeson, who is a life and wellness coach, now certified Shetty coach. Welcome, Stacy. So honored to have you with us today.
It's so good to see you guys. It's just wonderful to be here. Thank you.
I know, and already your colleagues are tuning in to drop the content. I knew this is going to be one of the most expected interviews because not only you are an alumni of the school and you are a certified coach, but also, Stacey, you are one of the most active members of the student community and the alumni community, and you are also a long-term member of GDS community. So it's a very special interview.
Yes.
So let's start with diving a little bit deeper into your story. I'm sure many of our students know you, many of the alumni know you, but some of the listeners don't. And so maybe it will be a nice start if you let us know when and why did you decide to be a coach at the first place?
Well, I was a hairstylist for many years, and I listened a whole lot, and that was just something I loved to do. And when I retired from that, because I'm old, I retired from that. I was searching for something, and I went through a period of, I went to volunteer at the soup kitchen, and I also volunteered at an animal shelter. 3 cats, and my husband said no more at the animal shelter. But then Jay, so I'm just minding my own business. And Jay starts talking about these things that are coming up in 2020. And I was thinking, book club, yeah, that sounds good. And I had already tried to get a meetup, but then COVID came and they canceled our meetup. And then he started talking about life coach, and I thought, man, if I could be, even a quarter as good as Jay, I've been doing this most of my life. I could probably do this. That sounds like an excellent idea. I could serve people again. And I decided to do it and made up my mind and realized pretty quickly I'll never be a Jay Shetty, but I'll always be a Stacy Leeson.
I love that. I love that sentence because the beauty of the certification school and each one of you when you are graduating, that you are you and there is no second you, and the niches that you are filling and people that you're serving are absolutely different, and it's an absolute beauty to do. But Stacy, I remember our first interaction in February when you were taking the POS program. And one of the things that stood out to me, and it's funny I remember that because you remember more than 800 people there. One of the things that stood out to me was one of the comments that you wrote, that you witnessed the power of coaching right in the Pathway program, and you started applying the coaching in your family setting. I remember your comment about your interaction with your daughter and how your coaching conversation changed your perspective on the relationship. I think that's a wonderful story to tell our audience, if you would.
Well, I have a daughter who is, all of my children are, of course, grown, but she would come to me on frequent basis. And I would try to, I don't know, I felt like I had to give her something to go. She'd talk to me. Felt like I had to give her something back. And so I'd maybe give her advice. Well, I don't need that. And she'd get all upset. And I started in the pathway program and went, oh, she doesn't need that. She just needs me to really, truly listen, like I did with my clients in hairstyling. I don't need to fix her. She needs to fix herself. So I started just listening, and I'd ask a question, and and then by the time all was said and done, she comes to me on a regular basis just to talk and have me ask questions so she can kind of figure out for herself what she needs in that particular instance. It was really an amazing transformation in our relationship.
I love that story. I think it's truly beautiful because I feel that's where you started to discover your coaching talent, and the power of coaching. I think I was definitely blessed to witness your transformation from February until today in September. And I am honestly very proud of what you have achieved. But looking at this journey, where you were in February and where you are today, can you tell us how did this all end for you? I mean, becoming a coach, and how does your coaching plan looks like now?
Well, first of all, let me say about the 21-day pathway. I begged you to let me in that. I heard about it from someone else, and I thought, I've got to get in that and find out as much as I can find out. So from then, throughout school, I cannot stress this enough to people. If you want to really know yourself, go through the certification school. I thought I was really self-aware at my age. Then I went into the audit. Oh my word. I was back and forth with self-awareness throughout the whole course. But the audit made me really stop and think about what was true in my life. So that's an important thing. That's an important message for me to tell everybody. Whether you choose to coach or not, which I guarantee you'll want to. But if you don't, it is such a life-changing course that I would highly recommend it to anyone. And I went through the course, went through the exam, which was quite exciting and terrifying, but it was great. And I ended up with I had done a live session on Facebook to chronically ill and chronic pain people. And I got some people through that and realized that they weren't looking to be well in mind, body, and spirit. They were looking mostly and really more closely relating to the victimhood that people in chronic pain actually live all the time. And so, no.
That was cool.
uh, um, and so I had to refer them out because I was not the one to do that for that's not what my job is. My job is to help guide them through their own wisdom, their own knowledge to become in a better place. And so I referred them. I'm sorry.
It's all right. Nice to all interview.
I'm just glad none of the others are in here. Um, so anyway, so till today, I am marketing and doing a lot of social media. I've done a couple of, I've given a couple of clients free coaching, and I am going to very shortly be giving away a 3-month coaching package. So everybody look out for that, because that's going to be a special gift.
Now, we definitely want to know more about the special gift. So, first of all, tell us about your coaching approach, who should work with you, and then tell us all about the gift, because I'm so sure a lot of our listeners, struggling with chronic pain probably would benefit, from this program.
Yes. And those without chronic pain as well, because I really dive into the mind, body, and spirit. Gina, get in touch with me. I have lived chronic pain myself for many years, and I know how it feels. So my coaching approach comes from personal experience, but also from personal gain. But I don't coach everybody the same way. Everybody's unique. Everybody has their own issue, their own battle. So I coach everyone according to their needs, and letting them learn what's going on in their own body, mind, and spirit. Because without being healthy in all three, you don't really have a foundation. That's why it's wellness in mind, body, and spirit.
Beautiful. And so, Stacy, what about the program application process? Like, what's the best way for our listeners to get in touch with you, and what's the criteria?
Well, you can always get in touch with me on Facebook at Leeson Life Coaching or Leeson Wellness. Leeson Life, no, let's see. Oh, crud. Leeson Life and Wellness, which is a group that I have. And also at LeesonLifeCoaching.com. That's my webpage, LeesonLifeCoaching.com. And anyone who contacts me there, just let me know, and I will get right back with you. And I've got different packages. I am also, because quite often people have issues, I'm also flexible in my packages. I'm not, you know, giving away every coaching package, but I am definitely flexible in helping people who um, are disabled and can't quite afford. That was something I decided early on.
One of the things that really impressed me during your exam is this idea of giving back. I remember you talking about it during your exam too, and I think that's a really noble thing to do. It's truly service oriented. You know, you deciding to coach a certain category, right, who cannot afford, I think is a really beautiful thing to do. So I hope we will have people who are in need, they can benefit from this very generous offer. One of the things, remember, if for some reason you couldn't find Stacy on Facebook, you can always find the link to her profile on our website in the coach platform. Stacy is listed there, and you can always send her a message or find her links to her website on her coach profile. Stacy, I want to ask you about the combination of your unique experiences. To me, you are one of the people who really goes in depth with everything she does. And so, dressing experience, right? And then volunteering and now coaching. Do you think that going through this array, you know, and various stages of your life brought you certain lessons that now are shaping, you know, the way you are teaching people and helping them go through their challenges in a way that is, for some reason, unique? I know you said you don't coach everyone the same way, but still, if we kind of give an overview to our listeners, how does it look like working with you?
Relaxed. I am mellow. Well, give out. I've mellowed with age, but I've always been. I was kind of a. I was a hippie, so
Oh,
I'm that old. So I was mellow anyway, um, but it's mellow. It's comfortable. If it's not comfortable for someone, then I'm doing something wrong, or we're not a good match, because that's how it should be. It should always be comfortable for a client to talk to me about their issues. I want to hear it, and I want to help. So that's really that's my main focus. I have learned so much about myself throughout the years, of course, but really so much more in depth spiritually and mindfully and gratefully through throughout school and since then, that, well, for the past 2 years actually, but really throughout school I put names to things. So it's been um, it's been an experience for me that I want to share with others.
I love that. And one of the questions that I've got when you were talking about knowing yourself, you know, was from Gina, who later said she has chronic pain too. And Gina was asking, what is audit? I know that all the students know what is audit, but Gina is not. Maybe now, as a certified coach, you can explain to Gina what is audit.
Audit is to it's kind of picking yourself apart, um, checking out different aspects of your life, um, really digging deep. You've become self aware. The next step is the audit, which means that you are going to look at these steps that you've become aware of. And it can be um, very enlightening, It can be a little bit scary, but it's all well worth it because it teaches you so much about yourself. I hope that answered your question, Gina.
I'm sure it does. It's a beautiful explanation. I don't think I would have explained it better. Stacy, absolutely fantastic job. And, I'm curious, and I'm sure a lot of our listeners are too. Why such a choice, a very narrow niche, right? Because you are serving a certain category. And you said not only people with chronic pain, but still you're keeping quite narrow in the selection of the clients that you serve. Why such a choice, Stacy?
Um, because I have such a love for I have such a love for people who are in pain of any kind. I have a heart for it, and that is my calling, my real service. But also because having lived that life and come out on the other end, not taking any medication for pain, and I've got a disease in my spinal cord that is extremely painful, that they're really shocked that I'm not taking medication for, that I used to take lots of medication for. But I don't promise that to everybody, but I can promise I can show you ways that will help pain. And because I know that I can do that, and I want so desperately to help other people. Now, as I say, this isn't just for people who are in chronic pain and illness. Yeah, Gina's saying that she feels that too, but she feels like she can't do it because of the pain. Of course, Gina, I stayed in bed for a long time because I didn't think I could get out of bed. I started getting my spiritual life in tune, and then I started getting my mind evened off on thinking positively and being grateful and things like that. And then I started doing some very simple, easy exercises that that um, kind of helped me stretch a little bit. I think the thing that we need to remember about pain so often is the more we lay down to it, the more it takes over us. And that's what I learned at any rate. So I hope that helps.
I love that part when you said that, the more we lie down, it's like when you give up, right? When you're lying down, it's like you are submitting to pain. It's
Yeah.
like you're not fighting. And I think I don't have chronic pain. I'm really sorry that you have been going through this, Lucy. But I can say that whenever we feel sick, right, and we just give up, we stay in bed, and we don't, fight against it, I think we kind of feel that too. So I can totally resonate. I'm sure many people can.
Right. Exactly.
Mariam Fergali has a question for you, of a different nature. She's wondering if you ever thought about being a coach before, or it's simply Jay's words that moved that passion in you to study again.
Well, I didn't really know what a life coach was. I thought about being a therapist. My sister's a psychiatrist. I knew I didn't want to do that. I wanted to have more interaction. Thought about being a therapist, but I knew that wasn't quite right. And then when I started listening to Jay and found out, oh, this is what a life coach is. And seeing him interview people and things like that, I thought, yes, that's when I really recognized what a life coach was. So it resembled so much my years as a hairstylist. And yeah, that's so different.
Mhm.
So I had a passion to serve. I just at my age was not sure how to serve. Um, I was scared, honestly, to go back to school because my brain is not as sharp as it used to be. Um,
I can argue with
I did well though,
that. You
uh,
did.
and it was really getting into the pathway program that made me realize that coaching is my passion. It's serving is my passion. Coaching is my purpose. It's the way I have chosen to serve.
I love that, Stacy. I'm sure Mariam enjoyed your answer because that was deep, and as always, you're going in depth, and that's what I love about you. Cynthia is asking if you can speak about what it may have been like to do your coaching originally. She particularly is interested about the nervousness that may occur in the beginning when you need to put yourself out there.
Oh, sure. Of course, you get nervous, but um, the nerves go away because when you're coaching someone, you're one on one, and the nervousness goes away because you're listening, you're engaged with your client, and it just then I'm an introvert, believe it or not. Um, and I was really afraid, but once I got into the coaching session, that was it. The nervousness went away because I had, I was able to listen. And by listening, I became very engaged with the person I was coaching or the people that I coached. So yeah, nervousness is part of it, but it goes away.
I think it's also important to remember that nervousness is there with any kind of job or career when you are starting out because it's normal not to have, full expert confidence. But then again, as you said, I think with coaching, if your true motivation to coach is service, you have no capacity to be nervous because you are so focused on the other people and you are so focused on helping them. You simply have no time or headspace to focus on your own fears.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can serve them. And I have some great comments. Absolutely, a lot of love from the audience. Hearing your question, and I like Audrey's comment. I feel you on the age aspect, but trying daily to exercise my brain muscles, challenge myself.
Well, I'll tell you, going to school will develop your brain muscles that you didn't realize you had.
I mean, you've been through quite a curve because there were a lot of things that were new to you, and some people are asking in the questions that I'm seeing, how did you get your clients? And I think you just explained that. And one of the things that I love about you is no priority in quantity of the clients, but being very selective. Who do you work with?
Yes. It to me, it's more about service than it is about anything else. I mean, not that I can afford to give away everything. This is part of something that I have to earn money. I'm in retirement, but I have to earn money. But it's more out of service, so I am more concerned about who needs me the most. Who do I know that I can serve most effectively, and who needs me the most?
I love that. Well, Stacy, one of the things that I saw in the questions prior to the interview submitted on the post was all about how was the first coaching session for you? What did you feel, in that first practice session or the usual session? Like, how does that internal transformation occur when for the first time you enter the room as a coach?
I was real nervous going up to it, and but I got over it immediately. You say hi, how are you doing, what's going on, and when you just are engaging to begin with, it just starts to flow freely. It's not something that you have to practice. You do have to practice, but it's not something that you have to be nervous about. It's just something to just be yourself. That's it. Be yourself and be your authentic self, and it will guide you in everything that you do and say, and it will keep you out of that nervous area and that kind of thing. Just be your true authentic self.
I love that. And I also think that you're a great role model to actually showcase that because, again, one thing I love about you is, first of all, the depth, and second, that you are always staying very true and very authentic, and you really stick to your values. You were telling me the story, before we started the interview, and I think it says so much about you that three people wanted to work with you, but you had to refer them out because you realized you cannot serve them to achieve what they have in mind. And I think it says so much about you.
Yeah. And there was a part of me that felt bad about having to do that, but I knew for their benefit, for their well-being, that I needed to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Love that. And Stacy, before we say goodbye to our audience and before we wrap this up, I would like to ask you again, just to repeat for our listeners about your coaching packages, about your coaching niche and where they can find you, because I saw some people joining in later. I don't want them to miss out on the opportunity to connect and work with you again.
You can reach me at leesonlifecoaching.com. I think my name's on there. It's just leesonlifecoaching.com. You can reach me at Leeson Life Coaching on Facebook. I have a page on Facebook. On Instagram, Leeson Life Coaching on Instagram. And I would love to be able to be of service to anyone who wants to find wellness in their mind, body, and spirit. I would love to do that. So holler at me and let's talk. And my coaching packages, I have 3 months, 6 months, and I would even consider 9 months in a year, just depending on how things go. So,
I think that's an excellent offer. And again, I personally cannot recommend Stacy enough. I know that she's a very ethical coach. She's the coach that will bring you the depth that perhaps you did not see yourself, about what you are going through. And so I have a follow-up question from Tina, Stacy. Tina is asking, with COVID being present, is all of your coaching online at the moment, or do you have a space up for clients?
um, yes, it's online. I do have a space for clients, but I really, um, I have a life coach, and we do it online. So, and we've always done it online before COVID came. Um, and life coaches need life coaches, by the way. So, yes, I do coach online, and I will probably continue to coach online. If somebody really wants to see me in person, we can make that happen. Um, Socially distanced and wearing masks, of course. But
I don't know. Yeah, I love that. We're staying safe, we're promoting safety. And another follow-up question from Gina. Gina is today really interested in the story. I think 4 questions we took from Gina. So Gina is asking if you decided to do coaching because you couldn't work from having pain, or did you work prior to life coaching?
now, I haven't worked in quite a while, Gina. I retired from hairstyling because my spinal cord had become so painful that I could not work anymore on my feet. Could not do that. Um, in the past 2 years, however, due to a change in my spirituality and in my mind, I was able to work with my body and to be able to get out there and do things that I haven't done in years. I mean, I walk for a mile every day. I I wouldn't have been able to do that 2 years ago. I wouldn't have been able to do that a year and a half ago. But it's because I have used these very easy exercise techniques that have really helped me to be able, and my mind, I've something clicked in my mind about pain. So, Gina, girl, you can do it. You just have to get your body, spirit, and mind together in a cohesive way, and and oh, I've got so much to teach. I've got so much to share. I've got so much that I know you've got within you to be able to come out to help people in pain.
I love that, Stacy. And Cynthia says, it's amazing what a subtle shift can actually lead to. And I agree.
Yeah.
I think Stacey is a great example of that. So, if you are looking for a coach who is going to help you explore the depths, but also help you to deal with any chronic pain if you have such, and will help you connect your mind, body, and spirit, I highly recommend that you reach out to Stacey. Again, reach out to her on Facebook or on Instagram, or simply check her out on our website and contact her directly through that page. Stacey, we thank you for your time, for your wisdom, and for being such a great student and such a valuable alumni. It's been such a pleasure.
Oh, me too. I've enjoyed it so much, and thank you all for joining in.
Thank you, Stacy, and thank you everyone for tuning in. Next week, do not forget to tune in as I will be bringing another graduate of the Shetty Certification School. Stay safe and have a great day. Have a great day, Stacy. See you soon.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.